I don't care if you're a mom of 3, a mom of 4, a mom of 5. You can do it. We all think like we have way too much on our plate, but honestly, if you do it correctly and have the right coaching and the right plan, you just become a very organized person. But I have no less time with my children. I'm even more engaged with my children now because I'm so happy.
Welcome to another great episode of the Gym Owners Growth Zone podcast, the show designed to help gym owners improve and grow their businesses. I'm your host, Andres Escobar, and I'm so grateful to have you join us today. Today we have Andrea Klas, a highly experienced fitness enthusiast, personal trainer, and wellness coach who is passionate about helping individuals achieve their health and fitness goals. She has 35 years of experience in the fitness industry. She possesses a deep understanding of exercise science, nutrition, and behavior change. She takes a holistic approach considering physical strength, mental resilience, and emotional well-being. Andrea empowers her clients to exceed their limits beyond confidence and transform their lives with her expertise, dedication, and compassionate guidance. Andrea inspires her clients on a lifelong journey of health and wellness. So I hope that connects with you guys. So if this is your first time listening to our show, please consider subscribing to the podcast and share this episode with someone whom you think will enjoy it. As we dive into the episode, listen to how she explains how your self-worth influences your decision making. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gym Owners Growth Zone podcast. I want to welcome our guest, Andrea Klas. Did I say that correctly?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. I love it when I hit it right on the first try. Andrea, thank you so much for being on our show. One thing that we do, I've known you. I've actually had breakfast with you. We got to get to know you and your son and your business. I love it so much, and that's why you're here. And the audience doesn't know you much, and so if they don't know you, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got to this beautiful, magical place in Canada where you're at.
Oh, well, that's a long story. Grew up in Canada, always lived in Canada. Actually, I love the U.S. too. Like, I actually feel I'm more connected to a lot of people in the U.S. than I'm in Canada. Canadians are very, quiet and shy and very, passive aggressive. I'm complete opposite. But I love where I live. I live in Vancouver, just outside a small seaside village called Lions Bay, outside of Vancouver. I moved here right after university. I've always been in the fitness industry. I was a competitive athlete growing up, figure skating. Then I got into, then I taught aerobics. That was what put me through, and trained in the university gym at University of Alberta. That's what put me through school. So I was a personal trainer there. And back then there was no certification. It was just like, hey, the football coach came in to the gym. He's like, hey, so we need someone to personally train and take care of the gym. Do you want to do it? I'm like, sure. How much to pay? $25. Great. That's how I became a personal trainer. Do I need to certify? No. You look like you know what you're doing. Perfect. I'm like, great.
You look the part. Come in.
Yeah. So, and then I taught 3 aerobics classes a day. So I was always competitive, and then got an economics degree, got hired right away with a pharmaceutical company, which was great. So then within that company, I learned all about physiology because I actually had a business background. So that really set me with the sciences part of it and the learning about how to read a study and efficacy studies and all that stuff, which really, really inspired me to then work on my nutrition. So as a personal trainer, got certified. I was personally training all through pharmaceuticals. Took a little bit of a break to be a musician because that was my other love. So I was a personal trainer and a musician at night, and then went straight into building my business as a personal trainer. So I worked all through Vancouver as a personal trainer while I was still getting all my nutrition, certifications. And then came out here where I am now with the Seaside Gym out in Lions Bay, small village, seaside village outside of Vancouver, and bought a home where I visually knew that I could build the gym right beside it. And that to me was like, okay, oh my gosh, here I can have a house on the water and I can have a gym. So built my gym and then built my business around that and just started getting, word of mouth, personal trainer in town. And just that would be 20 years ago now. So
Wow.
just build my business. And I was up to about 60 clients, 50, 60 clients until COVID hit.
Right.
And I lost 90%. Um, and then people went and built all their home gyms. And then so I started to do some homework and like going to people's homes. And I was like, this isn't what it's about. So right after COVID, well, during COVID, I thought everything has to change. Something has to change. I'm going to completely revamp my business. This is the opportunity rather than looking at, okay, I've literally lost all my clients, all my revenue. Luckily, I didn't pay any rent. So I was, okay there, but I still lost all my revenue. And I mean, I lived a lifestyle where I had money from my business and still had to pay for all the heating and everything else and the gym equipment. So I decided at that point that through my years of business I was always struggling to recommend nutrition. Every time a client was in and she wasn't changing, like, well, maybe you want to up your protein, and I was always there to give guidance and free guidance, but no one ever really followed it. And I used to get frustrated and think, well, like, it's so simple, just eat your protein, eat your vegetable, eat some carbs, and you'll lean out. No one, I would just find people wouldn't do it. And then they'd go on I went on this cleanse. I'm really tired, or I'm really tired today. I'm on a 10-week cleanse. I'm not eating anything. And I'm like, what? Get out of the gym. Like, so COVID hit. I'm like, that's it. I'm not taking any more clients unless I do their nutrition, I do their fitness, and I do all their accountability. Done. Then I had to find a company that supported that, and that was really out there. No personal trainers had all that packaged together, and then I found Gym Launch, and then since then it's just the trajectories. I completely revamped my business. Everything's just tripled. Found Gym Launch, and they're the ones that really gave me the systems and the support to really catapult myself into a fully flourishing, amazing business. And all my clients get results. 100% people get 10 pounds fat loss, increase their muscle mass, super happy, their visceral fat goes down, their health. I mean, now that I've just said it's like running with a one running shoe. You're going to get there, maybe, but you're going to fail along the way. There's no failure anymore because now I just say, hey, you're coming in. I'm doing everything. If you don't want to do it, fine. You're not for the 8-week program. And so that's where I'm today. I mean, I just have all these, amazing results on the back of my wall. I'm helping females change, and it's very, very rewarding.
So basically, it's an all or nothing with you.
That's
Did I
right.
hear that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I love that because it's like, listen, I offer all this and this is what I can do for you. I'm not going to give you a little bit of me and then you're going to complain because you didn't get the results. No, because you didn't get the whole package. That's why.
Yeah.
You didn't unwrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
You didn't get the whole thing.
No.
No,
And
I love it. I love it. That's great.
success does not happen unless you match the nutrition with the fitness. The results don't get there. And because people need something to, when you're strength training, unless you're eating the right amount of macros for your efforts, you won't get results.
Yeah, matching. I love that because I'm thinking about also your vision on how you wanted to set up your gym, your club. And it was at home. By the way, guys, I don't know if you caught that, but she has a house and she has an addition to her house that is a gym, like fully decked out boutique style gym, beautiful, oversees the water, like magical. So the location's great, and it's like a hybrid of a gym. And so the vision that you had, Andrea, matched together with the company Gym Launch that you mentioned, that they were also saying, yes, this is how you're able to be successful. And sometimes they tell you, hey, raise prices or let go of these customers, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, fine, I'll do it. And you just did it. You just followed the whole thing. Yeah, all that tough love, baby, tough love.
Like, I gotta raise my prices. What if I lose all my clients? And the coaches would say, yep, okay, let them go. You'll get more. I'm like, I will? Really? Yep, up your prices. Okay, so I 10x'd my prices. I didn't just up my price.
Wow. Dude, did you guys hear that? Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah, and I was, pardon the language, shitting bricks because I was panicking. I'm like, everyone's gonna go. And the funny thing is, when I put it out to the universe, As soon as I made that paradigm shift in my mindset and my value, they left. Like I didn't even have to tell them to go. It was like this beautiful synergistic. In came the high paying clients and out went the low paying clients, and they literally were like, oh, I think I need a change. I'm like, perfect, bye, great to have you, I love you, I'll see you soon. In came the 10x clients, and it was like this a magical metamorphosis that that's why I believe being in the having this, literally putting it out to the universe is so powerful, because I put out to the universe, I woke up, I went, okay, I'm doing this. I valued, I have so much to offer. I know I'm worth 10 times what I'm even charging the highest client. And that's it. I'm going to get rid of the old clients. And then they just laughed. Like, I love you. Thank you for helping me for so long. I'm good. I need a change. I didn't even have to tell them or raise the prices on them, because they all just kind of left, and I just slowly replaced them with all my higher value clients, yeah. So it was incredible.
That makes so much sense. And and some of our audience are trainers. So, if you're training in a place that's not giving you your value, man, you need to find another place, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Find the clients that are going to value the gym owner that's going to value you, right? And so
Yeah.
that goes both ways, and that's huge. That's huge, right? Um, most people were really afraid of us, like, focusing on gym owners. Why are you only doing gym owners? I'm like, yeah, that's just the audience that I'm picking that makes sense for us right now. That doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. Like,
Yeah.
maybe you have another model. Maybe you buy a second home in Florida, right? And then that becomes like, another extension, and maybe it's a different model there. But where you're
Yeah.
at right now, the area you're at can support your 10x price, right?
Yeah.
That's, I think, so important to understand, like, where you're at. Can this
Yeah.
be a model for everybody? No, it's not for everybody, but it
No.
can. It's great for you. I love that. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And
Yeah.
so during like your whole progress and getting there, in on the show we talk about life being a roller coaster, ups, downs, lefts, right. Those things happen. And if we don't have a guardrail,
Yeah.
the seat belt or
Yeah.
the track that we're
Yeah.
on to get us to where we want to get to, obviously
Yeah.
a roller coaster will go back where it started. But in life, we don't go back to where we started. But
Yeah.
in life, what were your tracks? What were your guardrails? What was the things that helped you stay in the seat so you don't go off?
It's a really good question. And when I saw you write that, I'm like, oh,
Is he really going to ask me that?
yeah, it is. Um, it's interesting because I even have this same conversation with some of my clients who let go of their internal, and I would say it's power, right? It's power over yourself, over your mindset, and really feeling powerful,
Mhm.
right? I've always known from a very beginning that I was worth it. I was worth, right? I had worth. What I had,
Right.
I knew I had value, and the dips were, oh my god, imposter syndrome, really, like, serious imposter syndrome, where it's like, I've got all these certifications, I'm really knowledgeable, but geez, I don't know if I can do it, right? But I think just being grounded in the fact, I think, to be honest, one of the grounders was my health and fitness. I've always stayed healthy and fit. I've always stayed focused on making sure that the vessel that is carrying this brain is
There you go.
really, really fit. And in when that's not in that when that guardrail, when I go beyond that guardrail, the whole world shifts for me, because I don't feel centered and healthy. And that's allowed me to be a really good coach, because I know most women are like that. They're obsessed with this. And when this goes out, everything seems to be off. So, sticking to my real commitment of being the best I can be in my health allows me to push that. I don't have to worry about that part. I'm super healthy. I'm committed to my fitness, and I stay committed to that, just like I ask my clients to, which allows me to just put that aside, and then I can just focus on running my business, because I have the energy, I have the confidence, I feel good about myself, that allows me to have a good marriage because I'm happy. I'm happy for my husband and my marriage. And it's allowed me to bring up children that felt very confident because I never, I've always been a happy and very active mother. So I've been able to do, which is rewarding for me because being healthy is a give back to my children, right?
Yeah.
Like, Mom, let's go mountain biking. Let's climb 4 hours. Sure, no problem. Let's get our mountain bikes and go. I throw them on the rack, right? Even throwing my bike on the rack is hard because it's 6 feet high. Like I'm strong enough to get it up there. Let's go for a hike up the mountain for 8 hours. No problem. Let's just grab some bars and go. Let's go for skiing all day. No problem. So for me, it's that in itself has been my guardrails. I have to say, it's just really grounded me. And
The nutrition. Yeah. No, for sure.
Everything, just
yeah.
being, and not being obsessive about it. Just every day waking up and saying, today I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to eat healthy and I'm going to work out. Maybe some days I don't work out, and maybe some days I don't feel healthy. But on the path of life, that has given me the energy to get up at 5 in the morning and go to bed at 11 and work.
Yeah.
16-hour days. And people go, you work 16-hour days? I'm like, yeah. Like, it's not a issue. I love what I do. So, and I have the energy, but and then just having.
I think a lot of gym owners will resonate with like 16-hour work days for sure.
I mean, gym owners,
it's just part of it.
We're there all the time, like, and we're givers, right? We're there for our clients. We're in the service industry, which is very demanding.
I truly believe if you can actually make and produce a great gym as a gym owner, you can make any business succeed. Like if you know how to succeed in gyms and make them grow, like you can make any business flourish for sure. That's what I think.
Am I? Oh yes, you know what I mean? That's that. Am I worth it? Could I do that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And having the template, the guardrails are also a template, having a map, like having a vision, right? Like if you don't know really where you're going, it's like, then you're off left and right. But I always had a vision that I wanted to be a leader in the fitness and health industry. I wanted to help women, especially women, really, really learn how to be fit, even into their 50s and 60s and 70s. You can always be 10 years younger. That was even in my 20s. I knew that was my purpose.
Yeah. And that's not hard. That's not easy. That's kind of challenging. So obviously dealing with women, there's challenges and there's obstacles that you have to help them overcome. But in business as well, you have obstacles that you need to overcome. And, helping your clients is one of those things. So tell us a little bit of a story, maybe how you think and how you have overcome some of those challenges.
Yeah. So with my clients, the biggest challenge for them is making their own decisions. My male clients, when I get on and we talk about a program and we realize that they need to lose 20 pounds of body fat, they're lacking in muscle, they're going to get cardiovascular disease, their visceral fat is up. And I say, okay, you ready to do the program? They're like, yeah, let's go. Here's my credit card. Like, absolutely. You got me for 8 weeks. Okay. Women.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds fabulous. Okay, and some of my women come in here, they're 40% body fat, and they are on the trajectory of literally having a heart attack. Okay? Get to the end.
Yeah.
Sounds great. I just have to talk to my husband about the money. And I sit there and think, okay, why do men not ask their wives? Now, some do, but I've never had a man say, I've got to check with my wife first to do the program. Never. Okay? Every female gets to not every female, but 90% of my females, I don't care if they're 20, if they're not even married, I'll talk to my boyfriend. They're always passing off the decision to somebody else. It's like, this is your life. And these aren't, I have a lot of stay-at-home moms, but these are women that actually work. They're fully working, everything's great, and they're asking someone else for permission to be healthy. It is astounding to me that women are giving up that power. They even women who stay home, they have value. And I end up saying, just because you're not bringing actual income in, you actually have 50% of the value in that home. You're raising your children. You're allowing your spouse to be completely free of all those other things he had to do. If he didn't have you, he wouldn't be able to make all that money. So actually, that's
Wow.
50% yours. So why are you asking him if you can do a program to lose 50 pounds of body fat when you know,
Come
right?
on.
Like it's that. So for
Come
me,
on, sisters, preach it.
no,
That's
it
right.
literally,
They need to know.
I put it out
Yeah.
there. I put it out on my Instagram one time, and I got all these negative comments. I'm like, sorry, I'm just telling the truth here, ladies. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's the biggest obstacle.
And on the other side of it, us men sometimes will just act and do and like I remember I purchased a car without asking my wife. I came home and like what do you mean? You
Okay,
just
well,
like did
cars.
that? Well, it's funny because it's like and now I know better. Like, okay, I should have probably, just checked
Yeah,
in with you a little bit. It's a
yeah,
car, it's a
yeah,
car. And if it wasn't a car for
yeah,
her, that would have been a different story, right? But anyways, but it was like now that woke me up. And I think people need to wake
yeah,
up and be like, okay, listen, you are the king or queen of your
yeah,
world and you have advisors,
yeah,
you need to make sure that there is perspective, but also you have a life choice. 40% fat, we need to do something today because tomorrow's not
yeah.
promised. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, and so for me, it's a bit shock. It's just shocking for me because I've never, yeah, may discuss, but on that note, guys don't have the same fear of going back to their wives and discussing, even if they bought something, they don't have an issue with going back and saying, yeah, I did this. We'll figure it out, right? Women have more fear
Yeah.
of the consequence of what's going to happen if they spend money that their husband doesn't agree with. There's that sense
Right.
of that lack of confidence to say, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I know it's a little bit of money, but honestly, don't you want me to look amazing? Don't you want me to feel better? They don't. Women just lack that ability to be, sort of like just assertive, not aggressive, but assertive.
So tell me how you were able to overcome. So this is the
Yeah,
issue. That's a
yeah.
big problem. How are you able to figure out and help that person that needs the help? Give us a strategy that people can take with
Well,
them.
okay, so that's a hard one. And a lot of
Yeah.
times it's basically just calling them out and saying, okay, well, let's get your husband on the phone. Let's talk to him, right? Let me
Yeah.
talk to him. Well, a lot of the times it's like, well, if he's the decision maker in your process, why is he not here making the decision with you? So I usually just ask them, if he's the decision maker for you, then why didn't you bring him in this call if it's going to be a group effort? And a lot of times they go, oh, well, actually, he's probably going to be fine with it. But it's just the ability. So I just kind of get them to realize what they're saying and bring them out of that. Oh, I'm going to check with them. And that also brings out from a perspective is if it's an excuse, right? And then this is what Gym Launch will, and people who talk to you about, excuses that are like, I don't really
Right.
want to pay for it, so I'm going to blame my husband. So it allows for that
Right.
conversation, which is fabulous. If you're someone in sales and Gym Launch, you're trying to sell your program, you just keep digging. And that's, again, Gym Launch has taught me a lot of that stuff. I was not a salesperson.
Yeah.
But just
Your question. What are they if they were here, what would they say to how would they say no? Like what's the reason to say no?
Well, see,
What's
I
right?
had talked to my husband first before I purchased this program. Okay, great.
Right.
Where is he? Can we call him? What do you? I usually just say, what do you think he would say if
Exactly.
is he gonna all of a sudden say, you know what, honey, I want you to stay fat. I want to stay couch. I want you to eat bonbons. I don't have sex with you anymore. I'm quite happy to never have sex because you're not happy with your body. That's okay. You just get fat and I'll be over here. Yeah, forget it. I'll be over here having an affair. And I literally will bring that up to
Right.
them. I'm like, you go down this
Yeah.
road and you don't want to have sex. And a lot of times we get into those conversations. I'm like, so how's your sex life? And they're like, oh, what? I'm like, how's your sex life? Well, it's
Love it.
lacking in that department. And why is it lacking?
Goal is a beautiful word to hear when you're scoring on the soccer field. This last World Cup was won by Argentina because of one important player. Yeah, you got it. It was the goalie. He secured the win for the team, and in the same way, ReviewBiz platform will catch negative reviews before they go online. In addition, it helps you score and promote fresh new reviews so you can crush the competition. So don't let those big box gyms take your clients. ReviewBiz will help you build your online presence and turn your own members into your best sales reps. Get your first 5 reviews for only $1. All you got to do is go to reviewbiz.io/try to get started. Yeah.
because you don't feel good about yourself and you don't want to have
Yeah.
sex because you don't want to get naked with your husband. How do you think
Yeah.
that makes him feel? Did you know that men never lose their sex drive up to 90? Like, I'll get into those conversations and they'll be like, and then it's like, I'm not saying he's going to have an affair, but I'm saying he's going to have an affair. You know what I mean? And vice
No,
versa.
wake up to the reality is like that's possible, right? And if we're not happy with the person we see in the mirror, right, then why do you think somebody else is not happy, right? And so
Well, exactly.
um
Then your kids aren't.
that's another, yeah.
Then your husband's not happy.
And we
Then you're
really
not
need to
happy.
focus on like our self-worth and how we feel about ourselves, and that's super important in this
Yeah.
mindset and mental, oh gosh. So yeah, no, this is so needed. We were talking, I was talking to Kale from Gym Launch, and it really needs to be a prescription. Like it's the first preventative medicine before you go to the doctor. You shouldn't go, you have an issue, you shouldn't go to the doctor. You say, hey, how can I work on my nutrition? By the way, Andrea, she doesn't just talk it, she actually walks it. Like I had breakfast with her, like, all right, she's very, you know, make sure that she's eating the right things and all this stuff. It's
Yeah.
so real. Even when you go out, you have to make sure, plan for that stuff.
Yeah.
So I love that. And you know, going back to your idea and the fitness, obviously, it needs to happen with our self-worth and where they are and how to, and I love those overcome, it's because it's like, if price wasn't a problem, if price wasn't an issue, what else would he say, right? And then he's like, oh well, well, he doesn't think that I'm gonna follow through, or I've started these things before. And it's like, well, listen, I'm not gonna let you fail.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying a premium
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna let you fail.
That's right.
Do you believe me and trust me that I won't let you fail? Yeah, I do. Well, then let's go.
Yeah.
Price is not a problem. Let's figure this out. We're gonna make this work. Let's go. And then done. I don't know. So that's just like little things that I've seen and it works.
Yeah.
But there is issues, Andrea, and so there's issues in the fitness world, right?
Yeah.
As gym owners, as trainers,
Yeah.
what do you see something that needs to change? Like, I gave you a magic wand, and Andrea, and you get to wave it and cast your spell, and it changes. What is that one thing that you see that can change and needs to change?
I think the fitness industry is way too watered down. There's too many cookie cutter programs promising and renaming and promising results and, basically just not really caring that the client gets results, and letting them fall off. I don't know how many people I get where it's like, yeah, I did this online program. They gave me, all this weekly workouts, and it worked for 8 weeks, and then I gained it all back. And I don't know. I just don't believe in 8-week programs. It's like, okay. So when I start diving in, so there's so many, and it's all promising things with extra supplements and extra bars. I mean, this one company, it's all fake food, and you don't work out, and you restrict your car. It's all this. Just lose weight fast, right? Lose weight fast, and then they don't really give a crap if the client, what happens after the 8 weeks. It's like, see you later, got your money, off you go, good luck with that. That's what I think we're missing, is we're not being accountable to our clients and to people, and actually that these are real people, right, who are struggling and looking for usually a quick fix. And there's too many companies out there capitalizing on that and profiting on that and not caring. And it's the digital world, and that saddens me because it kind of clouds the waters of what a professional is, right?
Yeah.
Again, all these other people going, I'm a nutrition coach, I'm a nutrition coach, I'm a nutrition coach. And it's like, when you look at it, they really haven't done anything. They've just basically done a bodybuilding competition, signed up with the gym to hire them, and now they're a nutrition coach, right? Like, literally, I know two people that I did the competition with, a bodybuilding competition with, and all of a sudden they pop up on my feed going, hey, I'm now a personal trainer and nutrition coach. I'm like, okay, I did the competition with you last year and you didn't know anything about nutrition.
Wow.
And now you're working for a company, and you're now a nutrition coach, and you're now a bodybuilding coach, and you're now this. And I'm thinking, right? So it's lack of credibility, I think, too, and lack of accountability. A lot of people just don't want that accountability. That's the hardest part as a coach, is being accountable for your clients, answering to the people that have left your 8 weeks and 6 months later they've gained it all back. There's no one there to say, geez, I'm so sorry, like our program didn't work. That's it. I think that's it for me.
That's it, man. That's it. I mean, I've seen programs where they just run them through the system, right? And it's just like, okay. And the nutrition is not really a big thing. I think I shared with you, I signed up for a program. It wasn't cheap. And we got nutrition, we got mindset stuff, we got training, I got the whole package, habit tracking. It was huge. It was great in my life, and it made impact. It helped me continue and striding, and right now I have a sprained ankle, so I can't do certain things, but there's certain things I am doing to make sure that I'm staying on track. And that was 2 years ago. And so
that's good.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's a testimony to that program, to the programs that actually are doing more than just, and this is actually a theme lately, Andrea, that programs that are just doing workouts, pushing weights and movements, that's great. But it's more, like, this industry is more than just that.
Yeah.
It's a health and wellness industry.
And supplementation too. I mean,
right.
A lot of people don't have any idea of the supplements that they're taking. That's a huge issue. Finding supplements that are actually what they say they are, that have the amounts in them. Pre-workouts, 99% of pre-workouts have 5 to 6 cups of coffee in each dose. And people have no idea. They go, oh, green leaf, green tea, that's good for me, right? Okay. And then they shove this stuff in them, and they just literally screwed up their whole, their whole hormones, their adrenaline.
Metabolism.
Just everything's will go wacky for a good period of time. And so, again, right, there's no knowledge in that area. Like here, with the package, you get this package, off you go, take that, just follow the instructions.
Right. Like, hey, I want to do a cleanse. I'll just, whatever.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Cleanse.
Don't let me get you started. I want to get.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Which cleanses aren't bad. Some cleanses are good, but
right.
It's just being more of discerning as a client. But for your program that you did, now let me ask you: did you have a personal connection with the coach, or was it all online?
He was in Canada, and I'm in Florida.
Oh,
right. So it was all done through Zoom.
Yep, but it was it was a personal.
Yeah. So it was actually, so I would have one coach to do the training. So I would do, like, my phone. He would watch me do the workouts, and he would prescribe, like, what I need to do workouts during the week, 1 week. And then another one would be, hey, we're talking, what's going on, what's holding you back, or what success you have, type of thing, and it was really the habit tracker. The habit tracker was huge.
Yep. And then the nutrition, was there a separate nutritionist?
Yes. No, it wasn't a separate one, but the same one with the mindset. He was a nutritionist, and he would help me, like, portion out my stuff and making sure I'm eating enough protein and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, that protein's going to curb your sugar, that you want to eat and at nighttime. And so if you make sure if you don't have enough protein, of course you're going to have cravings. Of course.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So that in itself is what is important, is the personal accountability and connection, which most programs out there are lacking. But if you
listen, I have a course, and this is great. Buy, for $59, you get to see the course. Okay, great. Did I waste my money? I don't care if it's $5. If I just spend $5 and I don't even do it, that's a waste of money. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I think that's key, the personal connection. Every client that I have, I'm personally connected with, whether it's in my gym or remotely. And it's way more work. It's way more work as a trainer. It's way more rewarding, and it's, maybe less cost effective, but in the long run, your clients will get better success. You'll be more rewarded as a trainer. And that's what I think we're lacking. And there's not enough of that what you had. And what I'm doing is almost exactly the same.
Yeah. And it's interesting, because I've actually brought that into our business where, hey, listen, I don't want you to just get our software and think that you can do it yourself. Well, you could, but we're going to walk you through the whole process for the first month and a half to make sure you're set up for success. And
Yes.
once everything is plugged in and everything's going, and we do a lot of the work, and most people are like, oh, you need to charge a setup fee. I'm like, nah, let's just make it part of the whole plan. And
Yeah.
it's just like, all right. And now, yeah, people just get the success because we set them up. We set them up right.
Yeah.
So it makes
Exactly.
yeah, the work in the beginning is huge. So
It is. It is. Yeah.
so growing a business, and there is challenges, right? There's certain things that inhibit your growth, and there's certain things that you said, oh man, I wish I would have started earlier. Like I've talked to somebody today, I was like, I wish I would have started this podcast like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
but I didn't, and that's okay. I would have started earlier. That's something for me. For
Mhm.
you, what's something you would have like started sooner, and what would be something you would have take out sooner?
Oh God, that's okay. So I wish I would have found a company like Gym Launch sooner. That's it.
Very cool.
That's
Very
it.
cool.
If
That's it.
I had
Mic
this
drop.
back pocket 10 years ago, I'd be a millionaire, like over 10 times over.
Yeah.
I had limited beliefs. I was a mom, right? So I had three children, I had 3 and 5 years. I didn't have kids till I was 35. I literally loved my life. I traveled. I was a personal trainer. I was a musician. I mean, I literally led the rock star lifestyle, went to Europe, was racing and cycling, followed the Tour de France. And finally, my husband's at 35. He's like, so we're going to have kids or what's going on here? Right? Like my plan 10 years ago was we were going to eventually have them. I was like, okay, next year. Okay, next year. So what I like literally, so my life kind of started my life where I was like, okay, like I'm here now. Oh, okay, now how am I going to do this? How am I going to have my lifestyle? How am I going to race, be a competitive athlete, have a child, run a business, be a good wife, blah 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 blah
Mm,
blah.
mm,
So I kind of dialed down my business and did it part time, and I didn't give myself enough credit to say, hey, you know what, I can do this, and then pull in companies like Gym Launch. Like I don't even know if it back then Gym Launch wasn't even there, but I dabbled in like Facebook marketing and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And then 3 years before Gym Launch, I kind of hired a company in Australia for $5,000, and then I did a program for $3,000. I probably spent $20,000 getting all these pieces, but ended
mm.
up having all this more work. Again, it wasn't personal. It was here's the plan for you. Go, no coaching, you know. So and I knew I needed some help. I was in a bit of denial, It's like I can do this on my own. I can do this on my own. And then when I I realized that the company I hired in Australia was just literally one of another for $5,000. I'm like, I just lost $5,000. I can't implement this stuff. They basically are telling me to do all my own ads, recreate. Here's the template for $5,000. Good luck, right?
Wow.
So that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to do the big bucks. Like I have to dive in. I have to invest, just like I invest in my health. I have to invest in my business if this is going to grow.
Yeah.
And if I can give anyone, like when I was at the Gym Launch, when we were at Gym Con, there were people that hadn't bought. I'm like, do it now. Honestly, I went
Yeah.
from 30,000 one year to 150,000 the next year.
Wow.
Like literally in 1 year, right? I tripled,
Yeah.
actually 5 times. I 5x'd my business.
That's it. That's
In
it.
2 years, I will 9x my business, and
Yeah.
by I'll be 10xing my business for sure next year. And because I invested and I dove in and I said I'm worth it, this is good value, and that's what I would tell to a gym owner. Like that was the biggest thing I didn't do is I didn't have enough. And I had people around me. I mean, I had people around me saying, Andrea, like you're kind of half in, half out, like, right? And
Tough love. They gave you tough love. I know they did.
yeah, no, you
That's
can
it.
do it. Like, I don't care if you're a mom of three, a mom of four, a mom of five. Like, you can do it. We all think like we have way too much on our plate, but honestly, if you do it correctly and have the right coaching and the right plan, you just become a very organized person. But I have no less time with my children. I'm even more engaged with my children now because I'm so happy, any time with I have with them. And so it's just, yeah, that would be the biggest thing I would say, or what I've
I
said.
love it. The right team. The right
Get the
team with
right
the
team.
vision. I
Yeah.
love it. That's the theme with the I hear from you. So I love it. Thank you so much. And so now we've reached the point of the fast five. And so this is a question I'll ask, and then you
Okay.
give me like one sentence, and then boom, we're gonna jump to the
Uh-oh.
next one. So let's ready?
Yeah.
Strap on. Let's
Okay.
go. The seatbelt. Let's do this.
Okay.
So first question is, who is the influential person or people in your business journey? Who've influenced you the most
Okay.
during your
Ryan Parsons, my personal coach, and Jim launches the people.
awesome, very cool, awesome. Next one is, what's one thing you wish you had known when you began your business?
How to do my numbers.
Ooh, bookkeeping. That's not the first time I hear that. So that's huge. That's big. Okay.
Understanding the numbers, not just booking, understanding numbers.
Understanding. That's it.
Every day, what's coming in, what's going out, how much is each client worth, what's your cost of acquisition,
Mm,
everything,
yes.
down to how
Whew.
much does it cost you to bring a client in. Yeah,
Right.
literally.
Love it. Literally. Love it. That's so good. All right. Next one is, what's a book, a blog, a podcast, or some kind of media that you recently consumed that has positively impacted you?
Dr. Huberman's podcast. Watch his
Okay.
podcast all the time. Yeah,
It's
he
about nutrition, or what is it about?
he actually is a ophthalmologist. He actually
Okay.
is one of these guys that he just does reviews of studies. So he doesn't actually have a bias. He just takes studies and does a podcast, a review of studies all the time. So he keeps me up to date on the newest studies and if they're valid, the efficacy, all that. So that's
Cool.
where
What's the name of the doctor?
it's called the Dr. Huberman podcast. Huberman podcast.
Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah, and I
Awesome.
also watch, of course, Alex. Right? I mean, I watch
Oh,
all.
the Hormozis? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. They're great. They're great. I love
Leela
them,
and her.
man.
So the next on my treadmill would be Leela. I actually
Uh-huh.
watch Leela Hermosi mostly. So it's Huberman, Leela, and Alex, and those are the three podcasts I'm constantly going back and forth.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, what I hear about them and what I know them to be is like they're very authentic. Like they don't just say what they're doing, they're actually doing it. And so
Oh
and you
yeah,
can see that with the videos and stuff. So it's cool.
yeah.
Um Next one is, what's a favorite online tool that you use?
Right now, I love AI.
Oh, ChatGPT stuff. Okay. Or is there a certain type? Is it Bard?
No, I
Like the Google
I've got the Chat GPT Pro.
GPT Pro. Okay, nice. Very cool.
The
Yeah.
the
We were
page.
talking about that. You can actually design a training regimen if you want to from it. You don't it's yeah, you can. It's like, listen, this is a commodity. If people look, that's the commodity part. Like,
Mhm.
hey, what weight or how now your nutrition, your coaching, your mindset, that's where you really become and set yourself apart.
Yeah,
So love that.
yeah.
Last one in our fast five is, what's one habit or practice that you believe everybody should do like today that would benefit from?
Don't eat any food an hour after you wake up, and don't eat any food 3 hours before you go to bed.
1 hour after you wake up, don't eat anything, and 3 hours before you go to bed, don't eat anything.
Yeah,
Cool. I love that. I think that could change a lot of people's lives for sure.
yeah,
That they're not into the nutrition or need a little
yeah.
spark
It's
for
a
sure.
simple thing to do. It's very simple. It doesn't allow you to change your whole diet. If you just change those two things and really, really follow that, your body will start to use the proteins and stuff that you're eating. So that's probably, I find, the most important, hardest actually for my clients to do
Yeah,
is the
agreed.
snacking. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And this is now we got the last question that we already did fast five. Now we have the last question, and this is my favorite. Let's save the best for last. And so, Andrea, I didn't tell you, but I have a time machine. And so I'm going to take you in the time machine and we're going to go back to visit Andrea at 16 years old. And what's that one piece of advice that you would tell Andrea, little Andrea, right now? Right there, she's in front of you.
Follow your dream.
Follow your dream. Mm, wow. Whatever. So yeah, you must have had a dream back then. And so it's like, you're like, get there, go. Go, focus.
Yeah, yeah. I had two things in my life: fitness
Yeah.
and music. Those are my two loves,
Yeah.
absolute passions. I was a really good musician and a very good singer, and I was a very, very good athlete. And I chose athletics because that made more sense in the world of. I grew up in a very be a lawyer, doctor, do business school. Anything else is not acceptable.
Hmm.
And I was the opposite. I wanted to go to music school or physical education, and my parents were like, "What? Your brother's a lawyer. Your sister's an MBA. What? What? No, 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 nope." And I was like, okay, maybe economics. Does that work? I can at
I
least be
love
in
it.
arts and like
Yeah.
do some
Don't let
music.
anybody else tell you what you should do
And
in that respect. Like that dream, that gut feeling that you have that inside of you. Don't don't second guess it, right? Don't second guess
no,
that.
and I
Like
did it.
go with it. Hmm.
I did it. I was like, and at 16, I knew I was either going to be a superstar musician. If I put my
Uh-huh.
mind to it, I knew I could do it. Or I was going to be a superstar athlete and own a gym and be a gym owner and be like a leader in the fitness world. Literally, those are
Love
my
it.
two, this or this.
This
And,
or this. That's
and
so cool.
funny enough, I was quite successful as a musician. I was still a person, but I've catapulted because this makes sense for me and this is what I love. But that's what I would tell myself back then is just, you're doing it like really, 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 live your do your dream, because if you love what you do, this is the typical, if you love what you do, you will be successful. Make it
Yeah.
happen. Make it
Right.
happen, right?
So good.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Andrea, you crushed it today. I really appreciate you jumping on the podcast
It was
and
fun.
sharing with me. Yeah, it was so
Thank
good. I
you.
loved it.
So
It reminded
awesome.
me of why we connected, and your energy is so good.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us.
It was so much fun, and I hope we get to see each other. I'll be in Florida again, probably more than you know, because I love coming there. And yeah, loved
So
meeting you.
cool.
It's been great. Thank you.
Man, that was such a cool episode with our lady from Canada. I really enjoyed what Andrea said about having the right team in place to reach your dreams. What was your favorite takeaway from the episode? I want you to connect with and share a message with me on Instagram at meetesco. And I would love to hear what you're thinking. Also, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this episode. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and subscribe to the show on the platform you're currently listening. And remember to leave us a rating and review. It helps us improve the show, and it also means the world to us. By the way, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. It's the channel where you'll be able to get amazing content and much more. As always, thank you so much for your encouragement, and I truly appreciate you listening to the podcast and helping us improve with your comments. And I'll be seeing you next time in the Growth Zone.